if last night was embarrassing, I'm not sure how this Heat locker room rebounds after this.
They didn't dry the tears, suck it up, and let it, get it behind them. They just kept it going. Let's take a look right at it because it's not pretty, but I think you're going to want to see it. So they blow the 24-point lead, and now they got to play the top team in the NBA. And as you see, success against the top teams in the league for the Heat so far, limited. 1-7. This is the first time they've seen the Spurs all year, so perhaps maybe moving to the West will help, right? Heat down 6. Watch LeBron James. Going to try to get to the post, collides with Dewan Blake. Tim Duncan, that's offensive foul number 1. Then later in the first, when they're down 11, at least this time he had the ball.
Well, San Antonio does play defense. That's a staple of their success, is team defense.
36-12 after 1. Tim Duncan on the bench talking to his teammates. Is game over. 3 times he said that. You got that feeling, right, in the first 12 minutes?
Pretty much. The Heat came back and had a big second quarter, but it was just for show because the game wound up worse than actually the first quarter started.
15 points in the second quarter. Heat trailed just by 12.5, so they cut the lead in half. Tony Parker, nice spin move on Mike Bibby, lays it in, so the Spurs build the lead back up to 20. 5:30 left, still a 20-point margin. Mario Chalmers throwing the pass up, and that just, Heat turnover. I mean, you see anything you like from this team? Any resolve, any play there. I mean, this is just, it's humiliating. Spurs up 94-72 after 3 quarters, and then Bonner just rocking and firing. It's just shooting practice. Get him open. I mean, where's our rotation, please?
But it's just precision by the San Antonio Spurs. They have one guy rolling. They force help to the middle, and a nice hook pass to the wide open Red Rocket.
And the Heat go down by 30. 125-95 is your final. The Spurs now 22-2 all-time against Miami. 22 straight home runs. The Heat home wins. The Heat outscored 51 points now in the last 6 quarters.
Rick, we talked about LeBron's confidence last night and how he's struggling with his jumper. Where's the confidence with this team after what you saw tonight?
Obviously, it's gone down another level. It's to be expected, though, at this point. I mean, let's be honest. Number one, they still have the 3rd best winning percentage in the Eastern Conference, in spite of what's happening right now. 2, they're playing some of the best teams in the league that have the perfect antidote for them. All of them have the ability to penetrate, particularly in this Orlando team and the San Antonio team. Penetration off the drive, and then the ability to kick out to multiple 3-point shooters. Miami just doesn't have both the shot blocking inside and the ability to scramble back out and cover those. Now, obviously, what we saw tonight was a lack of energy. You saw a team defeated, almost taking a here we go again attitude. But I don't know how much of this is the Miami Heat and their inability to respond, as much as it is that you've got some teams that have taken a long look at them and said, you know what, the heart of that team is they score a lot of points from the free throw line and a lot of points in transition. And if we can take that away, then they're not playing on a level playing field.
Rick, help me out here. I think that perhaps maybe this is turning out to be a great story for the league. It'd be nice. If you're going to go 72-10, that's excellent. If not, I mean, the theater and the soap opera going on here has got to be great to some regard for the NBA.
Oh, for sure. I mean, whether good or bad, the Miami Heat have been the story of the year. But I also believe that it's good for the principles of basketball, that simply putting together talent doesn't necessarily guarantee you anything. You look at the San Antonio Spurs, and we don't have a single guy on the San Antonio Spurs that's in the MVP conversation, and yet you look at the way that team plays together. It's something to behold, and so I think you get both. You get the drama, and you get the big names, and from the beginning of the year, the Miami Heat did a wonderful thing for the NBA. I cannot remember a team that was the target for everyone that had not won. I don't even know that the Lakers, as 2-time defending champions, ever had a target on their backs the way the Miami Heat had, in part because of the hoopla and those guys coming together, in part because how those guys celebrated coming together. But one way or another, they made a tall order for themselves with all of that. And now, quite honestly, they're paying the price.
Well, the image I take away from the game is Tim Duncan saying game over when they're in the first quarter and they're up by 24 points. Rick Bucher, appreciate the time here on SportsCenter.